Basically anyone but someone with the last name Bush, who is for Common Core and immigration amnesty, all in, and I mean all in for immigration amnesty. And I don't see how he's all that different from Hillary on a whole host of issues.
Well, let me say, look, I think what happened down there in the 7th, and we were on my McLaughlin group last week, and we said we're going to do a prediction, is, immigration, quote, reform dead for this year? And I said, well, let's make it a serious one. Is it dead for this presidency? And I think 4 out of 5 agreed. Now, if that strong showing down in that 7th district can be that effective that it has really put immigration reform back on its heels, how is somebody waltzing into Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina who is all for immigration reform and, amnesty and DREAM Act, when the border, people are walking across our border into our country and fundamentally remaking the character of the country, and he doesn't want to stop it? How does he get the Republican nomination? I mean, if that's the case, what is the Republican nomination worth?
Well, the problem is always, there's never one alternative. There's never one conservative alternative to the establishment candidate. So I told, last time I told Santorum and Gingrich, you guys have to form a coalition, put your egos aside. You got to form a coalition if you want to defeat Romney. If you don't do that, you're going to lose. And they both looked at me and, oh, no, we can't do that. So, well, okay,
they all want to be the guy. Each one wants to be the guy.
But it's going to be Huckabee, all these other people are going to show up, Rubio. And then that's how Jeb Bush ends up taking Iowa or New Hampshire. He's leading in South Carolina, which is a tricky state on immigration. Then he goes down to Florida. He wipes the floor with everybody because he has all the big money behind him. And then bit by bit, you see the Jeb crazy quilt sewed together. That's how I think it happens.
Are you sure he's going to run?
Well, no, I'm not sure. But if he runs, I don't see now who is going to really take him on, because you have too many people in the mix, and you don't have one alternative to it.
What happens sometimes, and it has happened, for example, in 1980 when you had a number of conservatives and George H.W. Bush there, you have 2 brackets. It's like in, the tennis tournaments and the other tournaments, and the populist conservatives are in one bracket, and they've got to clear that bracket, you're exactly right, and get the other folks, get their competitors out, and the establishment bracket. Now, the establishment bracket's usually smarter. It puts one guy up there and runs him all the way to the end,
Right.
So he's in the finals. But that's what has to be done, and that's the sorting process that's going to have to take place.
Who is it, though? Who is it, Pat? I mean, we don't have a Nigel Farage here in the United States. I mean, Rand Paul is... It took I think, a really wrong-headed step on the immigration issue last week. I mean, he's not completely where Jeb is, but almost.